What if your darkest moments were actually doorways to profound spiritual transformation? Let's go within and discover the reflective journey of the dark night of the soul. I'm Harvey Johnson, and welcome to the Inner Work Podcast, where today I delve into the profound journey of the dark night of the soul. Join me as I confront the most difficult moments of this experience we call life and illuminate the path towards rediscovering your true self and uncovering the light that exists just beyond the darkness. When I first learned about the dark night of the soul, I was instantly captivated. It's a concept that originated from the writings of the 16th century Spanish mystic and poet St. John of the Cross. It refers to a spiritual crisis in a person's journey towards union with God. You see, it's during this period individuals may feel abandoned by the divine. They may experience doubt, desolation, and an overall lack of purpose or joy. This can be an emotionally and spiritually tumultuous time marked by a profound sense of inner emptiness. Despite its challenging nature, the dark night of the soul is also seen as this remarkable, this astonishing, transformative experience that purifies and deepens one's faith. It's sort of like a graduation, but instead of a diploma, you elevate your frequency, you calibrate, the level that you calibrate is elevated. It's a period of growth that kind of strips away any attachments you no longer need. It strips away the ego, leading to a stronger, more profound, more mature relationship with the divine. Now, the dark night of the soul, don't it's not a bad thing. It's not something you should fear. It's not associated with evil or anything like that. Oftentimes, and you've heard this before, but oftentimes it's in our most troubled, most challenging periods that we learn, we grow, we become better human beings. Well, that's what this process is about. It's about getting us to that point. The dark night of the soul is believed to bring the soul closer to union with God. It's characterized by renewed spiritual insight and a greater capacity for love, a greater capacity for compassion, a greater capacity to forgive. And I'm talking radical forgiveness, forgiveness where you forgive so intensely. That's a whole nother topic, radical forgiveness. We'll talk about that too at another time. Those who undergo this experience may suffer a sense of being disconnected from God, stemming from a belief that somehow you're separate from God. In truth, none of us, none of us are separate from God. Only the ego would lead you to believe otherwise. All people, animals, trees, everything is energy. Everything is connected to source. Everything was created by source. We are never separate from each other. Never. We are energy, and energy attracts energy. We are all part of the collective, all part of the universe, all part of source. If we could see our world, imagine this, if we could see our world from angelic eyes, we would see the intricate web of cause and effect, wherever our thoughts, our words, and actions, how they ripple outward. Everything we say, do, and think ripples outward, and it influences everything in our world that we see. We would see then how we're all connected, how we are made in God's image and made perfect. The dark night of the soul is a journey that leads to a deeper understanding of our humanness. Remember, we came here to this experience we know as life to learn, to grow, to embrace our humanness. And it's okay. The challenges, the struggles that we face should be approached with this almost eager optimism for learning. Ask often, what am I to learn from this behavior or experience? Then look within for the answer. We don't need confirmation from others. The key to your life lies within. Connect to your higher self, your soul. Therein lies the answers you seek. Be still, quiet, and listen, and let your conscience guide you, your gut instinct. We're naturally guided towards what our souls want most, which is love. As humans, we have, above all else, a deep desire to love and to be loved. People aren't inherently bad, they're just hurting. Hurt people hurt people. Where there's no love, there's pain. Many are at a point where, especially now, many are at a point where worldly pleasures just aren't enough anymore. They're just not enough. That something is missing. There's this intense, unexplainable void. You may have a loving family, money, beautiful house, fancy car, and a wonderful job title. But deep down inside, somewhere deep within you, there's something missing. Somewhere deep within you, you need more. We have this strong desire to contribute and not waste the time we're given. St. John of the Cross, he wrote a poem titled Dark Night of the Soul. His work describes a spiritual crisis, a period of deep pain during his life growing up in Spain. He faced numerous hardships throughout his life, including poverty, especially following the death of his father. As an adult, John of the Cross became a pivotal figure in the Counter Reformation and a reformer working alongside Saint Teresa. His efforts were not without resistance. They never are. He faced imprisonment by religious authorities who opposed his reforms. During his imprisonment, he wrote some of his most powerful spiritual works, including The Dark Night of the Soul. John of the Cross was struggling to find the light in his darkest days. So during periods of isolation, especially while imprisoned, he surrendered to the divine. He found an inner peace and was able to process things more clearly. To understand that everything happens for a reason and that it's not what happens, but how you react that matters most. Despite the challenges he faced, his writings and teachings have greatly influenced Christian mysticism, emphasizing the necessity of embracing suffering and spiritual trials to deepen one's union with God. St. John of the Cross was later canonized in the 18th century by Pope Benedict XIII. The Dark Night of the Soul has its roots. The Dark Night of the Soul has roots in Christianity, but it's not restricted to Christians only. All people, regardless of their beliefs, can experience this great awakening. Finding inner peace through isolation involves using solitude as an opportunity for self-reflection, for mindfulness, and for personal growth. So how do we start this process? We'll begin by setting aside dedicated time in a quiet space where you can disconnect from external distractions. Use this time to engage in practices such as meditation, deep breathing exercises, walking, jogging, all of which can help center your thoughts and promote serenity. Journaling. Journaling can also be beneficial, allowing you to explore your thoughts and emotions on a deeper level and gain clarity. Focus on being present and the focus on being in the present moment rather than dwelling on past regrets or future anxieties. I mean, what's happened in the past happened. Learn from it, move on. We're most connected to source and able to create and inspire when we fully engage in the present moment. Each time we release the past, embrace the present, and avoid worrying about the future, it's like we give ourselves a fresh start, a new beginning. So embrace the stillness to reconnect with your inner self, identify what truly matters to you, and cultivate a sense of gratitude. Gratitude is this amazing healer. Make time to thank the divine with everything that's right in the world. Gratitude really works. Over time, this intentional period of solitude can help foster a lasting sense of tranquility and self awareness, enabling you to face the outer world unruffled and with a renewed perspective. While the dark night of the soul can be an incredibly challenging and bewildering experience, it's also a profound journey that offers the possibility of deep transformation. It's during these moments of darkness that we're invited to let go, to release old habits, to release old patterns that no longer serve us, and then to emerge with a deeper love and connection to our true selves and our greater purpose. Remember, this is not a journey one takes alone. Surrender to God, seek support when needed, and trust the process. For every night is followed by dawn. So embrace the darkness, those sides of you that you try to hide, harness its lessons and allow those lessons to guide you toward a brighter, more authentic existence. As you're releasing emotions, certain habits and old patterns that no longer serve their purpose, I want you to envision this new life and put great energy into it. Your soul is already there. Your soul is already living your best life. Now it's time for the mind and body to join. Thank you for listening to me. Peace.